Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to my custom mod pack, and I got my skin fixed. So I figured out what the problem was. There was an issue with ElecCore. Don't exactly know why it was doing it, but it was giving a random unique user ID every time that you would come into the game. And so it was screwing everything up. It was basically saying that I wasn't who I actually was. So I've got that figured out now. The server is working correctly. We have our skin and everything is working good. Now, doing that did reset all of my achievements. So if we go in here, we can see the only thing that I've got so far is taking inventory. So that kind of sucks, but we can now actually continue on without having to worry about it. And I suppose we'll get into what I've got planned for today. So I added refined storage to the pack, like I said that I was thinking of. And so we're going to try to get into this today. But before we can do that, we need to get some power generation set up. Now I've got two power generation mods in here. The first one is Deep Resonance. And this one will work. The problem with it is that we do get the radiation coming off of the generators. Now, I don't really like that idea too much because of the fact that, well, we have no way to wirelessly transfer power. And I don't think that we have any power cables currently either. The other one is advanced generators. So this one here we can set up and it doesn't really cause any issues. But the main reason I was putting this in here is I wanted to utilize the steam generator, and I don't have anything that generates steam in the pack yet. So I don't know for sure which one I should use. We do have an awful lot of the deep resonance crystals, and that might be the way that we go for now. I suppose what we could do is go back into the mountain here a little ways, and then when we get the refined storage set up, use some cables to bring the refined storage up here to the area where we've been working. I suppose I'll give that a little thought, and we'll decide from there which one we want to go with. So yeah, I'm going to do just a little bit of thinking on that, and then I'll be back. So I have done a fair amount of testing in my creative world, and currently there is just not the proper mods to be able to make use of the advanced generator mods. We don't have any power cables. We don't have a way to automatically pull water into the generator. There's a few things that we are lacking. Now, I have been looking at a couple of mods that I can add that will help with that, but I think for now we're just going to stick with the deep resonance generators. And I have come up with an idea of how I can make this work even without the energy storage that we would usually use to control the generator. So first off, I have made a new section to the base here, and this connects on both sides to the main hallways that I already had in here, so we can now walk in a circle around the base, which I think is pretty nice. But I also added a couple of side rooms. They're not quite, well, they're a little bit wider than the hallways, but not quite twice as wide, because we have these smaller sections here that accommodate the variants that we had with the angled entrance. So we have that accommodation here. Whoops. I forget I have Instamine on cobblestone here too. But so we have the accommodation here with the enchanting area, and then we have it again over here with this room. So the next thing is to start setting up the generator and then the refined storage system. So first off, we need to get the generator set up. Now I should have everything that I need in my inventory here. So we need to make some of the resonating machine frames. What do you mean I'm missing the... Oh, I guess I took the smooth stone back out of my inventory. That's my fault. But so we should have everything now, and I think we're going to need a couple of these because we need at least one generator and one generator controller. So yes, we need 2 of these resonating machine frames. Then we need at least 1 generator block. I do not have enough gold nuggets. So there's our generator block. We need our generator controller. So let's go ahead and unpack a little redstone here. And there's those 2. Then we also need the energy collector, which I guess needs another machine frame. And it looks like I took the nether quartz out of my inventory. Now, I have been gathering a lot of nether quartz actually from the nether, and I just ran through and fortuned a bunch of it, so we have tons of nether quartz available at the moment. So there's the 3 items that we need for making the generator. We also need a lever, which it does not look like I have any made, so let me grab 1 piece of cobblestone, make a lever here real quick. I guess I didn't need to go to the crafting bench for that. But then also we have the resonating crystals, and we'll start out with one of the more low-powered ones. We're going to set this up over here. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to set up a generator controller right here, and this stuff may move around. I don't know. I'll just have to see. Then I'm going to set up the generator block right there. We'll set the energy collector on top of it. Place the resonating crystal here. And then we need a lever here to turn it on. Pretty simple. This thing is now generating power. We can see that. We'll go ahead and shut that back down because I don't feel like getting the hunger effect. So now we need to figure out how to control this thing to turn it on and off so that we don't just burn up our resonating crystals. Now, I came up with an idea that was, well, I think quite ingenious considering the abilities of this mod pack. Now, this mod pack is very limited in its tech, and so I came up with the idea of, rather than trying to measure how much power is in the generator or in a capacitor bank or something like that, instead we are going to use the refined storage system to signal that we need to turn the generator on. So when the refined storage system runs out of power, it will have a no, I can't remember what this thing is called. Let's just look up refined storage. It will have a detector that will turn off. Once the system loses power, it will turn off the detector. Now, I did find out that the detectors, oddly enough, do not cause block updates. So we will have to do a little bit of vanilla redstone with I cannot remember what that thing is called. It should be right here at the beginning. This guy, the observer block. So the observer block will actually register the change in the detector, but redstone itself will not. So we do need to hook up a little bit of redstone to an observer to cause a block update next to the observer or the detector before anything will happen. But so the next thing that I need to do is get the refined storage stuff set up. I don't have any of that planned out, so let me gather up a few items and I will be right back. So one thing that I did not really pay attention to the fact that I needed was for the solderer here, we need sticky pistons. And of course that requires slime adhesive from Embers. Well, we're not into Embers yet, so we can't do that yet. But we need some slime. So we are going to need to excavate out a large area down low in the world so that we can get slime to spawn. Well, my mining has kind of been annoying because I don't have an item magnet. Well, Chicken Plays has set up a little Botania area here, and I think it's about time that we make a little use of this. Now, I think he had an endo flame here somewhere. Maybe? I could have... Yes, here we go. So we have 4 endo flames. We'll just go ahead and drop these here by this mana spreader. And these will automatically connect to the mana spreader. And then I have some coal here. Just going to go ahead and drop that. That'll get those all burning. Probably craft this into blocks because that will make it work better. I happen to have a lot of blocks here. Now I have this nether quartz laid out here because, well, my pickaxe here, of course, it has mending on it. And so every once in a while, when I get done with digging a little bit, I'll come over here, grab my Fortune 8 pickaxe, put my working axe in the offhand, and then just mine quartz until my pickaxe is mended. So that works really nice. I am going to also grab a couple more pieces of coal here, and hopefully this will produce enough mana. We need to make 8 mana steel. So I don't know how much mana that is going to take, but I guess we will, whoops, we will not pick the items up. We'll let them get consumed by the endo flames. And now we will take and drop in 8 pieces of iron. We got 1 so far. So yeah, this is probably going to take me a little while. I'm going to let these guys burn through those blocks of coal. Hopefully we get enough mana. Now, I don't know why he made a diluted mana pool. There's no point in that. I should probably just change that to a regular mana pool. But this is going to take a little while, and then I have to go and mine out an area. So I'll get this all taken care of, and then I will see you guys in a little bit. So I now have my solderer set up, my controller, and things like that. I am currently making a few more of the improved processors. Got some basic processors going right now. I also have some of the advanced processors ready to go. So hopefully we'll have what we need to get into here. So the next thing that we need to build is the disk drive, and that is going to require a machine casing and an advanced processor. So the machine casing is pretty easy, and actually I should bring a crafting table over here. Hello, Katerin. So let's grab ourselves a crafting table. We're going to set this up over here. And we need to make ourselves a machine casing, which is just 8 pieces of quartz-enriched iron in a hollow circle. The quartz-enriched iron, I don't think I showed that. That is just 3 pieces of iron and a piece of nether quartz for 4 of the quartz-enriched iron. So that's actually pretty easy to make. And then the other thing that we needed was a chest. And we should have tons of those laying around here. Or at least we used to. Yeah, it doesn't look like it anymore, so we'll just grab 2 pieces of wood and head back over. So it'll be so nice when all of this is accessible from one spot. So we'll go ahead and make this, and now I suppose what I'll do, this one has just finished, so I'm going to interrupt it and put in the gold one, or diamond one instead. We have 14 of the improved processors ready to go too. So we'll let this finish up. And these are so slow without upgrades. But upgrades are expensive too. So there's our advanced processor. So now we'll put that, a machine casing, and a chest. And this will slowly produce our disk drive. So while that is being made, we also need to make a grid so that we can make a crafting grid. And we also need to make our first storage disks. So the grid, we need some processors. So the destruction core is a basic processor and a piece of nether quartz. The construction core is a basic processor and a glowstone. And then we needed a couple of the improved processors, which have not been made yet. For the crafting grid, we then need to add an advanced processor and a crafting table to the grid. So in general, this is going to take a lot of crafting and waiting on these solderers. So I'm probably going to grab a little bit of this stuff out of here just so that I can set these improved processors to working. But so yeah, this is going to take a little bit for me to allow this to process, get this all finished up, and then I'll be back and we will make up our first drives. So I've got my crafting grid and the disk drive ready. Now in order to make the storage components, we need a lot more silicon. Well, I made up a furnace from the Furnus mod and made 8 efficiency upgrades and 8 speed upgrades. So this thing is really fast now. You can see it's really smelting this stuff quickly. But it's kind of unfortunate. The only way that we can get silicon in this mod pack is by smelting nether quartz. So yeah, I don't know, I might try to look into something else for that. But unfortunately, Ender.io, which is the usual method of getting silicon outside of refined storage, has not been updated to 1.11.2. So unfortunately, we can't use that one. But we're going to grab these. Now we will also need a lot of redstone, some glass, the quartz enriched iron. We have a few things that we need. Now I think glass I have over here. I think we just need quartz enriched. Yeah, quartz enriched for everything. So I will grab a little bit of extra iron and quartz just in case we need those. And then after that we will need more quartz enriched iron, redstone, and glass. So let's go ahead and grab a stack of redstone blocks. We'll go ahead and unpack that. That should give us plenty of stuff. So now we need to make our 1K storage parts. So suppose we'll just start out with 1K? Or do we want to go to a 4K right away? I think we're going to go with a 4K right away. So I think we'll make 2 of those. Thankfully that just dumps out on the ground. The 4K taking processors. But now we've got 2 of those, and then we can make our 4K discs. And there we go. So now we should have everything that we need here. I took up the solderers because they take a power, they have a power draw when they are being used. Now another thing that I want to do here is make a pressure plate to put in front of that thing so that we don't waste power. So let's grab a couple of pieces of stone, make a pressure plate, and then we'll set this up to where it's only activated when we're standing in front of it. So we'll place this here, and then we'll set this to work only with a redstone signal. That is, yeah, with the redstone signal. So now if we drop our crafting grid on top of this guy, should not be on. We step on it, it turns on. That is perfect. So the system will only work if we are standing on the pressure plate. Now I might move that back by 1 block. I did that in Hermit Pack, and that worked out pretty good. So we'll put our discs in here, and now we should be able to start dropping items in here. Oh, that is wonderful. I am so happy. Okay, so basically now I need to go... Ooh, we have a texture error. That is interesting. But I need to go around and collect all of the items that I need to put in here. With 2 4K discs, we should be able to put quite a bit of items in there. So I'm going to start working on that. We will not be putting things like the smooth stone or cobblestone or even these blocks here in there, because those will just take up space. We'll probably be using a storage drawer system for that. But all of this stuff can go in. For now, I think I'll leave out my ores, but like our resonating crystals will go in. These will stay out. And then we'll take, I think we'll put these in and these in, but all of our food items will stay out for now. So I've got quite a bit of stuff to pick up here, kind of clean up the base a little. So I'm going to get going on that, and hopefully we have enough disk space to hold all of this stuff. I am not sure if we do, but yeah, thankfully with my ring of magnetization now, I can drag all this stuff along with me, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. So let's hope that Cattern doesn't pick up my stuff. And there we go. So we'll just take and drop all of this stuff in here. And we'll see with those items being put in, how are our drives doing. We've almost filled the first 4K disk. And also we need to change the sorting on these. Yes, we want it sorted by quantity. So yeah, there's going to be tons of items going in here. We need to get that figured out, and as soon as I get that all placed together, then we'll look at how to automate the generator so that we always have power for this thing. So I've reconfigured the system here a little bit. So we still have our generator controller out here in the open where we can see it, and then here's the generator block. Well, we have the controller here next to the generator receiving power from the generator itself, and then all of our other stuff. Now we have a pressure plate here to turn the system on and off, and then I have down below the control logic to determine whether or not we have power in the refined storage system. Now I ran into a few issues with this, but this is the main I can't remember what they call these. It's a comparator cooldown clock, I believe is what it's called, but it very slowly counts down the redstone signal, and it will keep the generator running for a while when the system says that it has no power. Now, the problems that I ran into were over here. First, I ran into a problem of this redstone right here blinking and causing a very short pulse to go into the comparator clock. And when you have a short pulse going into the comparator clock, it actually will just sit there and cycle through it, and that does not work. So I had to add a couple more things. I added a repeater on 2 ticks going to a secondary torch, and this keeps the system from blinking. So that is great. We now have a system that works. We don't have the clock activated ever until the system runs out of power. So that's perfect. And this should be functioning completely now. So the next step is, of course, to cover this all up. Now I did go ahead and make an iron builder's wand, and this will greatly improve my ability to fill this back in. So let's just grab a little bit of stone, and all that we have to do is come through here and fill this in on top, and this system is fully functional and enclosed. So actually, I think we may want to get back down in here. This looks kind of dark in places, so let's throw down some regular torches just to make sure that this does not spawn any mobs. Probably way overkill there, but that's okay. I'd rather have overkill on torches than not enough and have mobs spawning. So yeah, we have a working refined storage system with a generator that will keep power going to this thing. And yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Now this is the next thing that we have to look at, is the automation of placing crystals and picking them back up. So obviously this one is completely depleted, and this one here still has a little bit of power available. So we need to have something to take care of that. So if we go in here, we will go now to deep resonance, and we need to make the pedestal. So the pedestal is a fairly simple machine to make. We need to make a resonating machine frame, and then we need, whoops, that's not the pedestal. Then we need a dispenser, and yeah, that's what I thought. We don't have a bow, so I'm just going to take these 2 bows, combine them together, and we will go ahead and make our dispenser now. And I keep clicking on the purifier instead, and so there we go. There is the pedestal. Now the pedestal is really nice in the fact that it will place down a resonating crystal, but if we have, it will place the depleted crystal and then it breaks it. So what we're going to need to do here is put a hopper underneath where the crystal goes. So we have some hoppers here. So if we place a hopper here, this should now, and we'll have to take our ring off. If we place this in here now, that is now in the hopper. So now all that we need is some type of an importer from the refined storage system to pull that in, or we could even just put a chest here. But also we can put a hopper into the side of this, and that will automatically place down the non-depleted crystals. So we need to get that all set up. And yeah, I need my ring back on now. So for now, I think what I'm going to do is just place a chest there. So we have some chests. Let's go ahead and place a chest here. We'll place one on top of that. And then we'll place the hopper pointing into here. And we'll drop this guy in there. Drop that in there. And then we can go into this and grab all of our resonating crystals out of here. Don't want the solderers. So now we can place all of these resonating crystals into this thing. It will fill the hopper, but also we have all of our resonating crystals ready to go. And this will provide power for a very long time. Hopefully by the time that we need a better power source, we are set up to use the advanced generators. So for now, this will work. We still don't have any way of transmitting power over longer distances via energy conduits or anything like that. So if we need power somewhere else, we're going to have to set up more generators. I don't like that idea too much, but I have not seen a decent mod that will provide the power cables. So I might have to look into that, and hopefully we can get something figured out. But I think I am going to say that's it for this episode. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I could work on or what I have been working on, you have any ideas of mods that you would like to see put into the pack, go ahead and leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!